Maggie, it's you. You've noticed a couple of contradictions in these new rule changes in this season so far.
Yeah, so obviously coming off round one, there was lots of debate around controversial calls, and off that, the officials sent all 17 clubs an email kind of defining communication to officials and the disruptor rule, which basically is when you're competing in the air after a kick, you need to go up with two hands, not one, batting it away, in simple terms. However, with this introduction of the rule, I feel they're losing the balance that they're trying to achieve with really selling this as a spectacle and an engaging product that we're trying to achieve in international markets. For example, with the disruptor rule, one of the most engaging parts, well, for me, in the game is seeing two aerial threats compete in the air to try achieve two things: score a try or save a try. Eliminating this eliminates the randomization and this very engaging part of the game, and I find it quite interesting because we've also seen this bleed into other rule changes. For example, with the 6 again, we've expanded it to the 20-metre line from the 40. Therefore, we're seeing less set pieces. As Chad Townsend was saying in our boardroom game the other week, the other week, this is, especially for halves, a downside, or at least from his perspective. We're also seeing with this the elimination of one player coming off a penalty, running into a brick wall of defenders. When we went out to Vegas, one of our main things we do is go around, do our vox pops and say, look at this one man, no protective gear, up against these 13 men trying to get through. But making the game faster, we're eliminating that component. We're then encouraging more fatigue, which means more scoring, which means more blowouts, which then also feeds into more errors in defence, more penalties, less tackle technique shown. So I'm just very interested, specifically with you, Lee, as well as a coach, how you're finding the balance of these new rules, whether you think it's successful and where you see the disruptor rule going.
Scrambling my brain. So, look, what's going to be next if you run up to the fullback who's about to catch the ball and shout boo? Is that going to be a penalty? Because this is what happens, guys, when people at head office who haven't played much rugby league start to chase the symptoms. I've mentioned this about the tackles before now. They chase the symptoms, they don't chase the causes. There's a reason high balls go up for fullbacks and wings to challenge for. It's because they've devised recruitment methods to find tall wingers and tall fullbacks to challenge for these balls for years and years. How one hand can be worse for somebody trying to catch a ball than two hands, I do not know. The disruptor rule, there's some things as a rugby league fan or as a rugby league person, you just prefer not to even think about them. They're that bad, and that's where I put this disruptor rule. I remember seeing one last year when West Tigers played Canberra, and I could not believe it. And if I focused too much on it, I would never watch a game of rugby league again, because that's how confused I was as a viewer. And I think this is just paralysis by analysis by the rule makers. I totally agree with you, Magdalena. The challenge for the ball is one of those great things. And look, we're in an era now where we want short social media clips that people can watch, and that is definitely one of the good ones. Two people challenging for a ball. They're not going to be clipping up disruptors and putting them on TikTok. So,
but we might clip up you going off about disruptors. So
no problem.
Kind of works out in the end.
No problem.